Yeah, I call that PX4. That's what perseverance, patience, perspective, power, and this idea of perseverance. We live in a world where it's so easy to just click on a button and have something show up the next day on our doorstep, right? And
Yeah.
in no way is life like that. In no way is sport like that, and success. And to me, what I see, you have a lot of talented people, but more often the successful people are those who persevere the longest, because guarantee you're going to face obstacles. It's going to be hard. It's never a straight line between point A and B. It's this zigzag process. You have steps forward, you have steps backward, and you have to be able to stay in the process and persevere through stuff. So that idea of perseverance to me is like number one most important. Patience, this idea of patience, again, staying with process. Like, there are no shortcuts to endurance work. As much as we want to have the magic workout, the magic potion we can drink or eat, there's no shortcuts. You have to stay with the process of doing work. When you're recovering from an injury, you have to be diligent with just, again, not moving too quickly, but moving quick enough, which is requires a ton of patience. This idea of perspective, to me, perspective changes everything. And in a moment like that, what I just faced with the accident, being hit by the car, I immediately have to reset my thinking, where I am broken and I am not what I was seconds before. And so as I enter into this rehab process, I have to maintain this perspective and this reset that my new ground zero reference point is when I'm on the pavement right there. And so every day forward, I'm focusing on what I can do, and I'm comparing it back to that most broken moment. And so I can see the progress as I'm stepping forward. The perspective of the whole of a big goal, and understanding that over the course of, trying to achieve Olympic goals, that's a 4-year process, and maintaining that perspective of working towards that big goal becomes really important, and not getting caught up in the little things. Power for me, I think your why, really defining your why and understanding why you do what you do can be very motivating and can carry you through and empower these other P's that I talked about. So I think those are very key to everything. And really, whether it's sport or whether it's life, there's actionable characteristics with them.
That's what I was gonna. That's the observation I was just going to draw. Actually, is that what you've described there is really. I mean, I had a career, if you like, as an athlete. Not all of it full time. Most of it wasn't full time, but I took my sport very seriously. I didn't get to anywhere near the level you have. But I feel like what you've described there is the journey of business for me, in terms of learning with these setbacks and things. So the skills are very, very, very similar and sort of applicable outside of the domain of sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could take it even to your kids in school, as they're struggling with algebra, trying to get through their math homework. Just in little ways, you start to kind of develop these things. And again, that idea of progressive overload, when you see it and start to practice it, you get better and better at it.
Yeah, and treating those challenges as something that you can treating those challenges as something that ultimately, yeah, when they happen, you've got to take a deep breath, and you don't want to be dealing with it in the moment, but at the same time, it is an opportunity then to say, okay, well, this will literally, if this doesn't kill me, this will make me stronger. And that's very much how we've had to apply our thinking in growing our business, in the same way that you're describing as a bike race. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you one more little thing about the whole longevity and burnout and stuff, because having been doing the sport for as long as you have, I'm gonna make an assumption. You can totally tell me if it's wrong, but there must have been times when you've had the thought about wanting to stop, or deciding when am I going to stop soon, and what has given you what do you think has given you the drive to continue to an extraordinary degree, to really have much more longevity than the vast majority of your peers?
Yeah, Andy, to really answer that question honestly, I would have to say it's a faith thing. I think God has just given me this amazing ability and this amazing opportunity. And anytime I've gotten to those moments, it's really been, just kind of praying through the whole process of where I'm at and figuring out, okay, what's next. And I think for me, like just understanding that cycling and sport has been where I've been placed and where my opportunity is, and to really embrace it and to know that, you know, sometimes running the race set before us requires perseverance, and that implies it's going to be hard. And just knowing there will be times where there's going to be those struggle points. And just having that big picture perspective of kind of a call and a purpose and what I'm doing has really, I think, enabled me to stay convicted to what I'm doing and press on and press forward through the hard stuff and through those times when it was like, man, I don't know what to do next. You know, and I certainly have had those. You know, I had a series of that back in 2009 and 10 with 3 surgeries in 14 months, where it was like, okay, do I need to go down a different path, or do I just need to persevere through this? And with each one of those, it was just persevere through it, you know, run the race that's been set before me. And I did that. And again, in 2013 with the crash at the Tour of California, that was a longer period because that was such a bad accident, and really trying to figure out, do I really want to keep doing this? I've won a world championship. I've been to the Olympics, you know, is it worth it going through this? And yeah, I still had that passion. I still had that purpose in sport, and I chose to move forward with it. It wasn't easy. And I think that's a big part of it, is just knowing that, yeah, this isn't easy. Life isn't easy. And that's okay. And it's really knowing, like, deep down what that passion is, what that goal is, and then committing to it and being dedicated to it and being willing to persevere through the rough times, the hard times, the dry times.
Yeah, fantastic advice. And now you're obviously, and you have been for a while, you're coaching and taking that advice to other people. So is that the transition for you next? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a lot more coaching, individually coaching. And then I kind of mentioned this before, this base camp program is this really amazing 4-month program where we get to work virtually with people all over the world. So we have some people in the UK even that are in our program. And it's this community, like building community to me is so powerful. And so creating this community of learning, learning and understanding, training, like the why of what you're doing. And then for me as an athlete, and for Tim as a coach in there, to really be able to help people understand how to actually do it. You know, there's the knowing doing gap in everything, right? And I think it's the same thing with training. And so to be able to work hands-on with people and help them take this knowing concept to actually doing and applying, like how to do a zone 2 ride, or how to do sweet spot, how to do the over under work, how to activate your glutes, you know, to bring that into process and really help people of all levels, you know, people who've never ridden or trained before, to really high level athletes be better. You know, we can do that in this virtual community, which becomes a really special thing for me because, yeah, I do have a passion. I've learned so much over the years. I've made so many mistakes. Like, your biggest failures are your best learning lessons, right? And so you compete for 20 years and you fail a lot and you learn a lot and you grow a lot. So to be able to actually share this with people and help them just be better, you know, whether they're experts at their craft or just getting into it, just help them be better, it's pretty special. And I have a big passion for that as well.